Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out some of the newer tech and EDC pouches that I've had a chance to test out over the past couple of months. It never ceases to amaze me just how many pouches companies continue to come out with. Can actually feel a little overwhelming, but is also awesome if you happen to be an organizational nerd such as myself. There seems to be a price point, layout, size, and style for any particular need that you might have, but there's also some similarities and differences among all of these different pouches that can make it tricky to decide which one might be best for you. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Before doing so, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Evergoods Civic Access Pouch 1 liter and 2 liter are some of my all-time favorites, so I was very excited when they announced the Civic Access Pouch half liter, which took some of the best parts of both of those pouches and combined it into a very small but versatile pouch. I absolutely love the layout that this has. Like the larger Civic Access Pouch, it's got a little bit more of a rigid shape. I talked about this in the in-depth review that I did for it, so it feels like it's just gonna offer a little bit more protection than some of the other pouches on the market. And then it's got just the one zipper that allows it to open up pretty wide, so it turns into a little tray that you can have next to you on your desk. And with this size, it just fits so comfortably into a variety of pockets that are not always easy to pair with a pouch. And then even though it's fairly small, I've been surprised with what it can actually hold. I have this loaded out as kind of a mixed tech and EDC kit on a daily basis, so it'll hold things like my mouse. I have a little sewing kit, which is particularly helpful when I'm traveling. I have just one pouch here on the side that has a pocket knife and a little multi-tool. And then on the other side, you have a mesh pouch where I currently just have a charging cable and a wired pair of headphones. And you know, these pockets are really interesting because they offer a good amount of volume, but they still don't prevent you from using this larger middle area for the types of items that I want to carry. So just a very clever design. It's offered in a couple of different colors. At the moment of filming, it's out of stock. So, you know, if you're interested in grabbing these, I imagine that even when they restock, they'll go pretty quickly. So I would sign up for the notifications, keep an eye out on Evergoods' site and an email list. And if you have a chance, you know, I highly recommend picking one of these up if you're looking for something a little bit smaller but super useful. Tomtoc is another company that's releasing new products at a pretty impressive rate. I featured one of their other larger tech pouches in a different roundup video. Definitely enjoyed using that one, but I really like this more compact size that they released as a companion to their Voyager series of backpacks. This has a similar aesthetic with kind of this ridge design. I did a whole video on that if you want to check it out. And you know, I like that in addition to the smaller form factor, this also has a pretty simple layout, which I think works well. You have a couple of quick access pockets on the exterior. One of them has a soft lining, which is going to be great for your phone or something a little bit more delicate. You have a nice carrying handle at the top, a couple of attachment points, so you can clip this onto the outside of a bag, you can hang it up. You have a simple zippered pocket on the front with a little lanyard and a carabiner, a clip for your keys or a multi-tool. And then you have the main compartment, which, you know, has a nice open space in the middle. And then you have a zippered pocket that also has just a good amount of capacity. So it's going to be able to separate some items from this main middle section, even if they're a little bit larger. And then you have two simple elastic slip pockets on the other side. So a simpler layout, but very, very effective. This is the type of thing that appeals to me because I don't have to think about too much with how I want to load it. I just toss a few things in there, it goes in the bag, and you know, it's got a nice durable exterior, not super rigid, which is something that I usually appreciate about pouches like this, as it just works well regardless of my loadout, whether I'm traveling or my day-to-day. Pioneer Carry has had some great pouches for a while now, but I've only recently had a chance to get hands-on with them. I've been testing out their Million Mile backpack collection. I've done a couple of videos on those bags. I've really enjoyed using them. I'll include links to those in the description below if you want to see them. I featured the Global Pouch, which I have here, in the Panda Pack review video, and I was very impressed with the layout and the materials of this. The exterior fabric is a very durable, weather-resistant feeling ripstop fabric. It's got the well-protected zippers. I like that it doesn't have a super rigid structure. These types of pouches are always easy to squeeze into a tighter bag, so I think that that adds to the versatility while still providing a nice amount of carrying capacity. This is offered in 2 sizes. This is the smaller version. They also have this in an XL size in case you need a little bit more space or you have bulkier tech and EDC items. And so this opens up. It's got a pretty wide opening, and it's divided into 2 sort of primary sections that will hold some of your bigger charging bricks or cables, and then you have some slip pockets on one side that offer a good amount of space. They're not super elastic, but still really useful for something like a mouse, charging cable, my AirPods. You have a little zippered pocket in the middle. That's gonna be awesome for smaller items that you don't want floating around. And then pretty similar layout on the other side, 2 more slip pockets. And I like the sizing on these because they're not so overwhelmingly big or small. They're just a good mid-size, and so even though it's not a ton of organization in this pouch, to me these offer kind of just a nice balance of enough without making it too complicated to organize everything that you need. So if you want something flexible and durable with a nice layout, this is going to be an interesting option to take a look at. No matter how many I collect, I'm always on the lookout for cool new organizational pouches and gear, and that's where Lochby really caught my eye. They seem to have a couple of unique organizers that also had more of a heritage style vibe, which is a little different than many of the more tech focused and kind of sleek options that I tend to feature. And Lochby was actually on the channel many years ago under a different brand name. They were formerly Bond Travel Gear, and they had some really great organizers, Adopt Kit, which I really enjoyed using. They since rebranded, relaunched, and I was happy to have a chance to get hands-on with some of their pouches. So here I have the Venture pouch, and then they have a tool roll. I'm not really as big of a tool roll guy. I haven't used this as much. The form factor of the tool roll seems really cool in general, and so this will definitely be a functional organizational option for some people. Both of these have just a really nice kind of wax canvasy exterior. They feel very durable. They're offered in a couple of different colors. The tool roll has this G-hook with a couple of different attachment points depending on what you're going to carry. It's got an adjustable strap, and then it unwinds, and it provides a lot of different kind of bands for, if you're an artist, if you have a lot of different kind of pens and pencils that you're carrying with you, brushes, if you have a lot of tools. This is going to be a really cool tool organizer. It could be an EDC organizer as well. You have some slots on the back that are going to offer a nice amount of space for something like a mouse or a charger or something, and then of course the bands for pocket knives or for adapters and things like that. You also have a little zippered pocket at the bottom for anything smaller that you don't want getting lost. So, it's a very cool functional idea. I think it'll work for a lot of people. It's just not something that I've normally used as much for the way that I like to organize my stuff. But, I would definitely recommend it, particularly because it can get a little bit slimmer depending on what you're carrying. For me though, the Venture pouch has quickly become one of my favorites. There's just so much about this pouch that is in line with what I tend to look for out of an organizational accessory like this. So first up, the aesthetic is fantastic. This matches up so good with some of the heritage bags that I have been talking about a lot on the channel recently, like the Heritage M23 and the GR1 from GoRuck. It's just such a perfect kind of companion to those. On the outside, it's got a couple of D-rings that you can pair with some carabiners, clip it onto some of the webbing that's found in some of these bags. I believe that Lochby also has some straps that will allow you to turn this into a small sling. It's got a good handle so you can carry it or quickly pull it out of a bag. And then I like that this doesn't have a super rigid form factor. This is one of the things that I tend to like in pouches because I can squeeze it into tighter spaces. And the sizing on this is a really good balance because it's big enough to offer enough space for the types of things that I would carry, but it's not overwhelmingly bulky. And then again, because it's not rigid, just kind of molds around whatever's on the inside. And this will work really well as a dot kit or a tech pouch. I'm currently using it as a tech and EDC organizer. It's separated into 2 separate segments. So you have one area that opens up a little bit wider, the zipper goes around, and then it has just some bands that will allow you to store some of the typical tech and EDC items that a lot of these pouches tend to. So I have a pen in one of these slots, I have a USB-C adapter for HDMI, I have a wired set of headphones, and then I also have a multi-port cable. And I like that these are pretty large bands, but not overwhelmingly so. There's not so many that it's uncomfortable to use this. And then you can see how this would translate well to a dot kit if you want to put your razor, a toothbrush, a comb. So really functional layout here, nice bright lining. And then on the other side, you have a larger space for any of the bulkier charger or tech items that you might be using. So these are the types of things that I always have with me. You have one segment that's just kind of open, and then you have a divider in the middle. So it's nice that you have some organization, but it's not overwhelming. It doesn't impede me in how I want to actually set the pouch up. So I have a little wall adapter with USB-Cs, USB-As. I have my Peak Design mobile tripod in here, portable battery. And then on this side, I have a couple of cables just kind of loosely sitting there. A lightning cable, USB-C for my laptop. And then on one side, you have some Velcroed mesh pockets that have a decent amount of space. They're not super elastic or anything like that, but great for just separating out some of the items that you want to grab more easily. In my case, I just have my portable hard drive with the cable that goes with it. And so really just functional, simple layout, but very well built. I think it looks great. And if you know somebody who's got more of a heritage style vibe and they're looking to, have something to help organize their stuff, then some of these options from Lochby are gonna be fantastic to take a look at. Peak Design's original tech pouch has been one of the most popular options in the carry community for a long time. It just had such a unique design when it came out and really set kind of a new standard. I always thought that the original was just a little bit too big for my liking, so I was very excited when Peak Design announced a mini version of their tech pouch, which had, the sleek style and durable materials in a much smaller silhouette. So this has been absolutely great to use in the period that I've had it. On the exterior, looks very much like Peak Design's other products. You have the little branding here, very well protected zipper, this interesting sort of approach to a handle on the back, and then you have some attachment points that will allow you to convert this into a sling if you want to. And then it just has one main compartment that opens up, and it has the accordion style layout that Peak Design has become so well known for. So it stands up pretty well on its own. You have two kind of primary organizational areas that have an open space for bulkier items like a laptop charger, a notebook. Then you have a zippered compartment on the back that has some small slots for memory cards, extra batteries. Then you have two middle sections here, this accordion layout where I currently have Apple Magic Mouse, a good spot for portable hard drive, other items like that. And then on the other side, you have a little slip pocket for your pen or a stylus and some additional slots where I keep, AirPods, extra memory cards, camera batteries. So, not going overboard, but still a very effective, useful layout. I like that you can just place this down next to you when you're working, easily access whatever you need, and then also that it just has such a smaller footprint. The structure here isn't super rigid, so another option that's going to be able to squeeze into a tighter bag pretty nicely. And so just a great middle ground if you're a fan of Peak Design's other pouches, but you want something that's going to be a little slimmer and smaller, either as a companion or an alternative, and this is going to be a fantastic option to consider. Aer makes some of my favorite tech and travel backpacks of all time, and they've also built out a really impressive ecosystem of pouches over the years. I'm a big fan of their dot kits and of their tech pouches. They have a variety of styles and sizes, and their newest one is the Cable Kit 3, which was a part of the tech collection that they released pretty recently. I did a whole video on that if you want to check it out. That included a walkthrough of the Cable Kit, and in its third iteration, Aer just continues to refine and iterate on the design in ways that I think work well. This, aesthetically matches up with Aer's typical designs. It's offered in an X-Pack, ballistic nylon. I have the X-Pack version with the aqua-guarded zippers. It's a little bit larger than the other editions of the Cable Kit that I had used, but I think that it works really well. You still have Aer's typical handle on the exterior, really nice seatbelt-like material, and then just a simple quick access pocket on the outside where you can place, pens, styluses, nice amount of space here, other tech items. And then, this is an accordion design, which is just becoming more and more popular across lots of pouches in the industry. So, like some of the other pouches in this list, you have the two segments with kind of a divider in the middle. The divider itself has a pocket for some additional smaller items. You have a slip pocket on one side. It's got a nice durable feeling elastic material, some smaller slip pockets on the other side of the divider, then some open space here for the bulkier chargers and cables. You have a couple of slip pockets that are a little bit larger on the other side, so great for tech items, as I've been showing in some of the other pouches on this list. And one of the cool things about this one is you have this little additional slip pocket on the back. It's got a little bit of rigidity to it, so it might be a good spot for your phone or a small e-reader. And then some smaller slip pockets for your AirPods, AirTag, batteries, anything that you might need to carry. So, you know, nothing super crazy here, but it does the essentials really, really well. It also stands up on its own. So if you're a fan of Aer's products, if you want a tech-focused pouch that, you know, is gonna offer the same sleek style of Aer's other products, then this is going to be an excellent option to take a look at. Grams28 is a company that makes premium leather pouches, bags, and other accessories, and like other high quality leather goods, the pricing on these is a little bit higher than some of the other options on this list, but you definitely feel the quality that these come with for that price point. This exterior leather material just feels fantastic, super luxurious. This to me is kind of what I imagine a Gucci or Louis Vuitton tech pouch would feel like. At least that's the vibe that I get from it. So very clean, stylish, fashionable look. You have a nice handle that you can carry this with, a little bit of subtle Grams28 branding, and then you have the very well protected zippers on the exterior. It's offered in 2 different sizes. And so the one that I've been using the most is of course the smaller, slightly slimmer option. It's still a pretty sizable pouch, but you know, it's not as bulky as the other one. We'll take a look at that larger one in a second, but this smaller version here just feels great. The leather is fantastic. You have these longer zipper pulls, making it very easy to open this up. On the exterior, you see that you have a couple of attachment points that pair with an included strap that has these really great clips that allow you to turn this into a sling bag. So I think it is a great size as a sling when you arrive at your destination, or if you're using this as a bag to wear while you're flying. I think it's a great bag for that sort of use case. And then like some of the other options we feature on this list, it has this layout that has a divider in the middle and then 2 larger sections. These aren't even like some of the other pouches, like the Cable Kit, which had kind of the down the middle setup. So here you have a slightly slimmer area that will pair well with the taller slip pockets that you have here. So great for cables, maybe a flashlight, some taller items. And then in this section, I would probably put maybe a laptop charger, smaller cable, and then you have a little slip pocket in the middle. You have a zipper pocket for anything smaller that you don't want floating around. This also has some smaller slip pockets on the inside. So great for an AirTag, for memory cards, things like that. And then you have a larger area here where you can put maybe an action camera. You could probably fit a point and shoot camera pretty comfortably. You have a little loop that's gonna be a good spot for a stylus or pen. Then some other elastic slip pockets that, you know, are flexible, versatile. They'll work well with a portable battery, a portable hard drive, other tech gear that I would typically have with me. And then because it has this layout that is, you know, almost an accordion style, it doesn't have as many sections as some of the other accordion pouches, but you know, it stands up pretty well on its own. It's got a good amount of space, and then because of the flexibility, you will be able to store it in a variety of different areas. So that is the smaller edition, and then I'll place it kind of side by side here with the large tech pouch that they also sent me to try out. And you know, definitely bulkier, but there's a reason for that, right? So the exterior is pretty much the same as far as the handle. You have the attachment points on this one as well, and it'll make even more sense because, and before I move on, you do have a handle on the side for this one and this one. It blends in really well. I almost missed it. I haven't used that quite as much. I generally use the top handle more, but you know, great to see this here so that you can pull it in and out of a bag. And then you have the ability to actually use this as kind of a camera bag. It includes some adjustable dividers, feel really premium, soft. These are pretty padded as well. And then on the inside, you have this hook and loop area here. And so you can set this up with a couple of lenses, with a camera body, and then you have a great little camera kit that you can either wear or place into your larger travel bag. And then the divider here is a little more rigid than what we saw on the other pouch. So great to, again, just have that protection, that peace of mind for your camera gear, which is always going to be delicate and pricey. But beyond that, very similar sort of style with having the divider, a little bit offset from the center. And so in the non-camera section, you just have the same sort of pocketing. So another zipper, a couple of internal pockets in that one. Then you have the larger slip pockets for your tech gear and a little slot for a pen or a stylus. So, you know, not going overboard, but very, very effective as far as the layout. Really just great looking kind of camera sling slash pouch. If you get the larger one, if you get the slimmer one, you know, still really versatile, nice amount of space. These are the size that might even be able to handle an e-reader, a smaller tablet. So that's one of the benefits of having that extra bit of space. And then just the, you know, feel of the premium materials on this is fantastic. And so if you're looking to elevate your pouch and, you know, carry game a little bit, these are going to be some great premium options to consider. And so that's it. Those are some of the newer tech and EDC pouches that I've had a chance to test out over the past couple of months. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you have any questions on the items that I featured in the video or suggestions for similar items that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I'll make sure to include links in the description below to some of the other roundup videos that I've done where I have talked about other pouches that I've really enjoyed using over the years. I have one that's focused on slimmer pouches that are going to work well for one bag travel. I'll also include links to some of the packing list videos that I've done and some of the roundups that I've done on my favorite EDC backpacks, my favorite travel backpacks. And if you have ideas for other roundup videos that you'd like to see on the channel, definitely let me know about those as well. And as always, I want to thank you for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.